Well, we have been painting the little like cellular antenna boxes, and they're just drying over there in the paint booth, or the paint box. And I went ahead and made out of a bunch of just odds and ends of pieces of metal, a lot of brass tubing and rod and so forth. And so I went and made a little funky antenna like this. What I want to do is make one more, and so what I've been doing is just sort of tinning these little brass rods that I cut, and that makes it a lot easier to solder them together. All right, we have these all soldered together. I'll trim them just a little bit, and then we got to drill a little hole in there so that we can put the little mounting rod on there. So let's go rinse this off. All right, we have our little hole through here, and as I press down on the drill bench, it actually gives a nice little bend in it, which that as soon as I saw it, I was like, hey, that actually works for me. So now we just got to get this this one sort of ready to go. All right, we now have our second little antenna. Looks like it turned out pretty good. Going to that off. And the last thing I need to do is drill a little hole in the antenna pole where we want this to mount. So the next thing is I want to put kind of like these little satellite dish antennas, a couple of them on each of these. We can add these 3D printed for us, and you can, if you want them, you can contact, we get those out of Trainli. So all I need is a little piece of brass tubing, and they just kind of sit in there like that. So I want to put this first one right here, and then we'll do the next one. So let's see, how do I want to do this one? Pretty good. Well, we're back at the workbench again, And what we want to do is I want to make a few more antennas to mount onto our pole. So I'm just going to make like some little pretty straight and simple antennas. I'm going to have kind of a small, medium, and large size. And so let's first get started on the large sides here of taking just some plain old wire, stripped off one end, and I'm going to kind of fold these like so. This is for the bigger antenna, so that they can kind of grab onto something inside of this brass tube, like that. Now I'll do the next one. Just kind of doing that in thirds seems to work pretty good, and they still slide in there nicely. So we got that part done, and now we need to tin these a little bit. Let's see, I might just need that to hold them. Heat this up. And by the way, I got to this morning, Jill and I, such a nice spring day. What's really cool about living here in Reno is that we're only about 25 minutes or so from Mount Rose ski area. So we went up and did about 5-6 runs on the mountain and skiing in t-shirts, and quite nice. And then come back and work on the railroad all in the same day, and works out to be kind of a nice little variety throughout the day. You right in like that, and okay, that one's cooled off. That's attached nicely. Grind, smooth this up a little bit on this side. Nice. So we got 1, 2, another little one here. Got another wire. See, got a little bit of plastic melted here, so I'll trim that off. So all right, so we have our 2 medium ones, our 2 small ones, and our 2 larger ones. Now we need to attach these to the antenna pole. Alrighty, so I'm going to put the big one right on this side. So let's if we can get a nice little bead here. All right, see how this looks now. These look like they're all pretty much what we want them to look like. This one. So I think that will be good. Now let's put some little rods in here and see how they look. That one's good for that one. Here's kind of our medium one. And our big one. Which we need. All right. So I want to cut this one in half. So we are at 11, so 5.5. Be good. And we have a little teeny tiny bend in it, so we'll straighten that out. All right. Here's the large one. That. Perfect. And I still have those little plastic rectangulars that I'll put a couple in there also. So this one is good to go. All right, if you remember from a little while ago when I drilled a hole in the bottom of these, and I'll tell you later what it's for, went ahead and put a little wire in there and run that right into the tower. So we're good to go on this. We got an antenna there. Let's see. We want to. This one's going to be the fun one because it's a kind of a channel, not a tube. Well, I just kind of figured out something that would work a whole lot better for holding these little brass U brackets that we made. And that is, I use a Dremel with a little cutoff wheel to do a little notch in that channel. And boy, that works a whole lot better. Wish I would have thought about that the first time through. So I do cut out the little notch, and then I put a little bit of flux on it, and then I put a little bead, a little tiny bit of solder in the channel where we cut it out. And then these already have some flux on them, or some solder, but I'll just put a little bit of flux on that. And this should go in here nicely, just like that. Well, I wish I would have thought of that when I started, but it's easy enough to take them off, cut the little notch, and then solder them back into place. So a whole lot faster and a whole lot sturdier. So those are on there really good now. When I was adjusting them, they would kind of like pop off. So now they're in there nice and tight.